a propensity for women to be more adept or more open to channeling. And I know this is not a blanket statement. Can you just tell us a little bit about, what it looks like for a man, and some of the men out there listening, they're on their spiritual journey, they've dove into conspiracy theories, and now here they are learning about this ability to channel, maybe tap into different beings. Are there any kind of blocks or things that you see more commonly with men that prevent them from accessing this? So talk to us a little bit about that.
So there's two things that I can touch on the subject. So the first thing, in a hypothetically balanced divine union, so within a masculine and a feminine, the way it functions from an energetic perspective, the feminine opens and channels, the masculine protects and grounds. So the masculine energy, like imprinting, is more of like a grounding, a protecting. It doesn't mean that they can't channel, but it means that that's what they're more prone to when they are working in a divine union of a masculine and feminine. Having said that, we both have masculine and feminine within us. Your channeling per se, I would say, would be more with the emotion, because it's generally directed from the heart center. That's where you want to be channeling from. I see a lot of people out there. There's a lot of, I don't want to say false psychics, but there's a lot of psychics who are almost, they bypass the heart and they channel only from the crown and only from the third eye, which can work, but then that can also be there can be some distortion in that aspect. So this would be from a more kind of like structured perspective of how the channeling would work from an energetic viewpoint of view. And then the second thing is that I do find that the men are kind of like catching up with the vibrational frequency to the woman. So it's almost like in the awakening process, the women are in front and they're kind of like pulling and dragging the men along with them. And it's very interesting because in the last few years, when I first started working online, my client base was maybe 90% women. Then the year after that, it went down to maybe like 80 to 20, then 65, to 35. And now I would say that I'm almost at a balance. So I've seen a beautiful rise in the divine masculine. And I'm seeing more and more of these like groups and podcasts like what you do, for the men to come together. And I think it's because they struggle to tune into that aspect of self, of the emotion, the vulnerability, the heart opening, that as a consequence, then they're going to struggle to channel, because it's that feminine side that they need to bring up, because they get brought up with, I don't know, the patriarchal and the men that need to be strong and they can't cry and whatnot. It's kind of just the programming. But once that gets released and dismantled, then they can access that more feminine and gentle part of them, which will then bring them to opening up and to channeling.